Shot Boys Podcast with the Cognac Boys. I am Cognac Boy CDubb, holding it down on another episode. Today, we gonna talk about Josh Giddey's contract and the approach that the Chicago Bulls are going to take in said contract negotiations. But first, y'all know how we do it. I want to thank all of y'all for your continued support. We crushed the goal as always. So now we're going to go with the goal of 7,900 subscribers by the end of the week. You guys are the best in the world. Y'all killing each and every goal. Let's keep them moving. Now, it's a very important offseason for Josh Giddey, especially, and for the Chicago Bulls, because their decision, especially in this one regarding Josh Giddey, will have consequences for at least the next 5 to 10 years. So, what is the Chicago Bulls' approach to a Josh Giddey contract? The Chicago Bulls have pressing business this offseason, and that pressing business comes in the form of Josh Giddey. The 22-year-old point guard Josh Giddey was one of 3 players to tally 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 500 assists. Is that good, guys? Want to know who the other 2 guys are? LeBron James and Nikola Jokic, the Joker. It's only 3 guys that get 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 500 assists. The other 2 guys are MVPs. The other 2 guys are first ballot Hall of Famers. There's nobody else in that list but Josh Giddey. We'll continue. Josh Giddey in the month of March stumped out an average of 20 points per game, let's just call it 10 rebounds per game, and 9 assists. Highlighted with a masterclass against the Lakers on March 27th. Josh Giddey dropped 25, 14, and 11 on the Lakers. And probably the play of the year, a half-court game winner for the ages. Josh Giddey has more than proved his worth. We can look at, he started. It was a little bumpy. It was a little sketchy early for Josh Giddey. He couldn't even stay in games when the game was in the balance at the end of games. But he put his head down, got in the lab, and got better as the season progressed. I seen the improvement before the All-Star break. But you really got a glimpse once the second half of the season started and Zach LaVine and all the rest of those guys was off this team. Yes, I think those numbers after the All-Star break are real. You can think they fake if you want to. I think that's a more than great sample size to come to this conclusion that Josh Giddey, he's worth it. He's worth it. Let's continue. Now the Chicago Bulls are up. What angle are the Chicago Bulls going to take? Well, Sports Illustrated are reporting that the Chicago Bulls are taking the go see what's your worth angle. You know what? You guys know what that means. That means you go see how much money you can get on a contract. Go get you some offers. Go get some offer sheets. Instead of coming to the table, probably offering $30 million per year, $150 million contract or something like that. You want to see if you could get you a bargain. So go take your ass out there and see if somebody really, really wants you. That's what the Bulls are saying. And we'll match with anything you bring back to us. Okay, that could be a good thing. That could be a bad thing. Let's keep moving. Let's keep reading to see. Let's see what's up. Josh Giddey, with perceived limited teams able to sign him, has to find his own contract. If the reports are correct, the Brooklyn Nets, with the projected $49.5 million in cap space, is really the only threat for the Chicago Bulls signing Giddey. But are they a threat though? Let's look at some of the suitors and who could be a problem for the Chicago Bulls this offseason. The potential fits for Josh Giddey. At number 1 is the Brooklyn Nets with nearly $50 million in cap space. At number 2 is the Houston Rockets, but they also have to extend our friend Sengun. He may have already, I'm not sure. The Washington Wizards, with the capacity to offer 30% max contract, the Wizards could be aggressive in free agency, seeking to add impactful players to their roster. But I don't think so. They do have Jordan Poole over there. I don't know how much they like him. We'll see about that. But I'm going to just say I'm going to dismiss them. The Utah Jazz. Cap flexibility is contingent upon decisions regarding current players, notably Lloyd marketing. If they maintain their space, they could be contenders in the free agent market. It's a possibility. Do you think they're ready to part ways with Laurie marketing and open up some more space? Maybe. I think they like Isaiah Collier over there in Utah. He had a terrific second half of the season. I'm going to dismiss them as well. Holding over $23 million in cap space, the Spurs are well positioned to make significant additions, potentially targeting versatile players to complement their roster. I don't think so. De'Aaron Fox is over there. So the only threat is the Brooklyn Nets with $50 million in cap space. Now let's look at the Brooklyn Nets roster. Is there going to be a problem? Who's at the guard position? Who's at the forward position? We got D'Angelo Russell. We got DeAnthony Milton. We got a guy named Reese Beckman. They could make a play. You know, D'Angelo Russell ain't somebody you can sit on your laurels with. You know, rest on your morals. You know, this ain't 10 years ago for D'Angelo Russell. So I think they are a minor threat, and I think they will offer a contract to Josh Giddey. And the Bulls better match whatever it is, because you put yourself in this predicament. So there is some suitor, a suitor. I think it's a suitor. It could possibly be some suitors. Hold on, what is going on here? What are we doing here? Okay, what are we doing here? Okay, there we go. There are some suitors, but I think it's really going to come down to the Brooklyn Nets. Josh Giddey will be a 9-figure contract player regardless if it's the Nets, which I think is not likely, or the Chicago Bulls, who are leaps and bounds closer to prominence than the Brooklyn Nets. Let's just go inside of Josh Giddey's head. Look at the team that you have in Chicago. Then look at the team that it's in Brooklyn Nets. Of course, they're gonna get some new players in there. They're gonna draft some good rookies over there. But who are more closer to a competitive team, the Chicago Bulls or the Brooklyn Nets? I'll let y'all answer that. Y'all know the answer. So this is important. And I'll close with this. The Brooklyn Nets are a threat, but ultimately, Josh Giddey will be a 9-figure Chicago Bull player by the start of next season. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribed if you haven't already. The goal for the end of this week sits at 7,900. Bro, y'all the best in the world. Y'all have a great weekend. I'll see y'all on the next one for sure.